Hey guys, give me 1 minute. Alrighty guys, hello. How are you doing? I'm gonna be casting some GSL replays from yesterday. Group A of the round of 8. And then tomorrow I'll be doing the Group B in the playoffs. Is the rough plan around. Let me just reset a couple things. Get the webcam on. Cool. Alright. Let's yeah, let's cast some StarCraft 2. So we're gonna start the day off with the first match of the day. So the group is ByuN, Rogue, Cure, and Hero. The first match is ByuN versus Rogue, which means the second match is Cure versus Hero. Usually GSL does winners match first, so we will stick to winners match first as long as... Well, put it this way. Basically, we'll either do winners match first, or we will do a mirror matchup. So if like Kira and ByuN play each other in the second round and winners or losers, we'll do that matchup first. So I always like to get the mirrors out the way. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go cast some games. We open up on Tokamak, like I said, it's ByuN versus Rogue for some TVZ. Start us off in what was, again, just yesterday's GSL group. Had a fun time watching these last week and enjoying some of the games and being able to, obviously, just kind of watch the games with you guys. Let other people who've kind of missed the GSL stream catch up as well. Like I said, it was a good way for me to be able to come in and watch some games and kind of know what's been happening in the GSL too, so... Kind of a win for everybody. We get to kind of stream a little bit. Some people get to watch GSL or rewatch GSL. And yeah, it just fills the weekend a little bit. So again, we'll be here today with Group A, and then tomorrow we'll be casting Group B, which was played today. But we'll also tomorrow be doing Group B, and then we'll go into the playoffs. So kind of like a double whammy tomorrow. So that should be some good fun. And just means that there's a lot of StarCraft 2 on the way, basically. So yeah, tomorrow should be a little bit of a longer one with the Group B into playoffs combined as our broadcast. So that is the current plan of action. That's where we stand, and that's where we're going to be going to. So let's see what happens between ByuN and Rogue as we get into game number 1 of this best of 3. And of course, best of 3 in everything in GSL until you get to the playoffs. I think then it's just... I'm not sure if the playoffs are best of 5, best of 5, best of 7, or best of 7s throughout, but it's kind of funny weird if they didn't have any best of 5s and then went to a best of 7. There's no way the finals isn't best of 7, so I get 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 on the final day. So, yeah, and it's pretty compact because actually kind of wild this weekend. There's GSL qualifiers again, so we'll be casting some GSL qualifier replays next week. Because the second season of the GSL will be coming around, so we just get kind of 2 seasons of GSL squished into a couple of weeks here, which is obviously pretty crazy. But that is the way that things are. So yeah, all we can really do is sit back and enjoy it, you know. Alright, so we get into play. And look to see what's up. Reaper is going to begin to come across the map as we get started. Just going to see that Overlord coming about for a little bit of a few moments as well. So we just got ourselves upset, ready to go. Here for game number 1. And yeah, ByuN versus Rogue. ByuN, I feel like you know what you're getting with ByuN. Let's talk a bit about Rogue. Because Rogue has actually been on a real tear lately. I feel like Rogue's really been improving quickly, and I feel like his TVZ especially has been one of those matchups which has been pretty darn interesting to watch. It's been fun to see him kind of playing some games and having some success, and yeah, he's been a pretty chaotic player, which in TVZ, if you can be chaotic, you can absolutely kind of out-micro your opponent and kind of out-mechanics your opponent a lot of the time. If you are better in those scrappy scenarios, you can see a lot of success in those scenarios, right? So I think that's a lot of what Rogue will be looking at here in this game. Game 1 and obviously Series 1 of the day. Looking to try and take advantage of some of that chaos that he might be able to employ. So we'll see what he's got up in store. I do think this is a doable group for Rogue because he goes in against ByuN. Obviously there's Hero in this group and then there's Cure in this group. So I would say this is a very doable group for Rogue because I actually think he can win both the ZVTs. Now I don't think they're going to be easy, but I do think it's possible. Like, I see a route for Rogue to get out of this group. Now, if Rogue ends up having to play like Hero in the decider match or something, then I do not feel anywhere near as good for him. But I think there is a road for Rogue to actually move to the semifinals. I really do think that exists, so we'll see what the case may be. As a couple of Hellions and the Reaper gather around. You got a Banshee and the Hellions on the way up. The CV's on the way. Just going to be seeing a single Marine there, nibbling at a Zergling for a couple of moments as well, so just putting some work in. Getting some damage done. Those Hellions gathering in the CC coming up as well, so bringing all of that through for the moment. See those Queens gathering around. Banshee and a couple of extra Hellions coming about also. Queens pop down those creep tumors, just going to spread those out along the front, and first Hellion's going to try and poke on in. What do we think Rogue's going to try and do? And I do think he's going to try and be pretty chaotic. You can see ByuN playing pretty standard Hellion Banshee into Stimpak on the back of the 3CC, so very safe from him. Keeps him very safe against someone like Rogue, who may just try and kind of up the ante and up the aggression right from the very get-go, right? So, kind of keeps you very safe from that very first moment of the game. Double evolution chamber building already. Spores on the way through, the hatch coming down, drones and the Queens coming up as well, as we just have the few Hellions going to get chipped away to the side by those Queens too, so those Queens going to push those Hellions away. And yeah, Barracks Engineering Base coming up as well. Continue with the Banshee. Melee upgrade is going to be one of the next parts of this too, so all of that coming about as our few Hellions again going to hit those Queens just for a few moments, get some damage done, put some pressure on the early stages here. Constructors coming up. Power up onto 3 hatcheries. Siege Tank, Marine, and Stim on the way. We got the 1-1 upgrades coming about as well. Things got out to that left-hand side, and a couple of Banshees coming across the top. Hellions poking about on the right side. Not really able to do too much just yet. Get rid of a couple of drones already. Now these Lings come through. SCV's taking damage. 3 SCVs go down. The Marine's going to get there. Those Lings get chased away. And again, 1-1 combat shield. All coming through. The Hellion's going to hit those Zerglings. They get pushed away out through the center. And back down to the bottom side. Then the Bane Nest continue into play. And the upgrades coming up. 1-1 in a combat shield, like I said before. Genie come through to get rid of another creep team just at the front. A grenade goes down. Queen's getting bopped over to the sides. Banshee's sitting overhead, and Overlord is going to go down already. The Hellions return back to the front. The Hydroden coming up. Infestation Pick coming online. Additional drones and Zerglings coming by as well. Had a couple Overseers, melee upgrades, Baneling speed. All that continues through for the moment. As army of ByuN is going to be finding a single Zergling around this bottom side. That's going to go down. Marine tank going to get rid of it already. And we do have a step forward. A couple of 15ers are going to be coming around as well. Queens, Banes gathering. Marines, Medivacs out down the right. And the 1-1 upgrades will not be too far from finishing right here, so we'll get those done very shortly. There's the barracks and the armory coming up as well. Get that started. Getting the speed coming through. The Hellions are going to be there, pushing the Zerglings away. Still got the 2-2 melee upgrades coming online. That Groove Spine's going to be a part of this, so again, we'll continue to bring that straight into play just for now. As you have the Hive, the Lings, the Banes, bit of everything still in production at this point in time. So we're all just kind of going straight at Hive Tech here, and to be fair, ByuN's been pretty passive as well, you know, when you get to a 7-8 minute TVZ, and it's been a few Lings, a couple of SCVs, a couple of drones, you know, it's not a huge amount of anything. However, now ByuN is in a position, just going to be getting set up, and a few of those Lings already going down. A lot of Ling Bane heading to the bottom left-hand side. Lings running through, the ByuN's going to be pulling back, tank shot going to fire onto some Banelings and then onto others. And the 2 upgrades coming around, 20 SCVs going down, just having a lot of workers going down the counter-attack, but we know that ByuN's in a good position on the other side of the map, so continuing to get a lot more done. And it's coming through, chasing Queens down as well. Still step up, 1 Queen goes down, the rest of the Lings running over, Hydras as well. Marine's going to load back into those Medivacs, we go pulling away. More tank shots continue to come over as the Queen's taking damage, the Marines pull back a little further. Just going to see the tank still firing it up for the moment, so just continue to get that work in as the Lings will be getting dropped. The Queens and the Hydras still taking volleys, as the tank's doing a wondrous job here so far. Banshee hits coming through, the Lings and Banes are going to roll forward once again. The Banes trying to connect, Hydras trying to get underneath, Banshee going down, the few Marines still very much so being chased away. Rogue is starting to push back this attack of ByuN, trying to hold off this entire situation here pretty much. So just trying to get this entire thing calmed down a little bit. As you're going to see those some units still on this right hand side. This hatchery will fall, so for all the defense Rogue's been trying to make, ByuN will survive on the right side to get rid of a base. Now Rogue has 4 bases across the top of the map, so is that still okay for him? He is up on upgrades for a few moments here, 2-2 just now finishing for the Terran players, so a slight difference there. Green tank top left, just going to be seen out adrenal glands, +3 carapace, seismic spines and the +1 missiles coming about as well, so we continue to bring that through. The couple of Banes still rolling forward. The Hydras going to get jumped on. Oh, that's not good for Rogue. Losing all these Hydras. That base obviously low as well, so it's an easy target to pick up after you get rid of the Hydralist count right now. A few Lurkers are going to try and step their way over here. As the Marines continue to go into the mineral line, a lot of those drones being picked away at, shredded so far. Marines come back around the other side here, as you see the Marines just going to go jumping through. Lurker's going to get jumped on. 2 more Lings going down. Queen going to fight. And 17 drones and 17 SCVs falling at this point in time. Let's just have ourselves the army of ByuN. Continue to sit on the edge and just clearing up some creep. Continue to look pretty good here. So, I mean, ByuN just going to slow it down for a couple seconds, but it's absolutely looking golden in this opening game so far. I'm gonna hold back and get a Hydra. And GG says Rogue. ByuN is going to take the first game, so he just overwhelms Rogue that little bit. It's a little bit too much damage done. GG's. And we'll get into game 2 here in just a second, guys. Let's just go into it. Let's keep the games rolling today. Obviously, these are just replays, guys. So you have the beauty of just being able to kind of click into the next one. So as long as ads aren't needed, we can just zoom through game after game, basically, pretty much. So, let's go into game number 2. In the bottom left-hand side, the blue Terran player here is going to be ByuN. Taking on, in the top right, our red Zerg player. This is Rogue. The game 2 of our best of 3. Hope everyone's doing well today. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. So just covering some GSL replays. Hope you guys are feeling good. And looking forward to continuing to hang around and enjoy some games together. SCV coming about, Hatchery coming through. See Hatch Gas Pool going to be the initial starting point here. First the command center, so no surprises. No one's going to get overly aggressive in the first few moments of this. Everything looking pretty normal for the first little while, which is good to see. Again, a couple of revenues coming up. The racks and the CC coming online as well. It's going to get the Hatch Gas and Pool all brought online currently. CC, morphing in, and orbital. It's gonna have our factory coming up, a couple orbitals on the way, so you know, just having that CC first play ticking along, and the economy will get going from both players here in the next few moments, so we just get that up and rolling. Factory coming down onto the third base, and the factory coming up, reactor coming over, orbital coming through. Two Hellions on the way out, SCVs and Commencers are going to start building. And a couple of Hellions of the Marine coming up. Just going to be seeing the CC getting built. Linksy coming, drones on the way. Continue to establish here for now. That Linksy going to be completing fairly shortly. As the Zerglin still comes around the bottom sides, just again going on a little bit of a runabout, looking to see what's going on. Tries to get up this ramp for some scouting information, never a bad thing. If you do manage to poke in and get some scouting, then that's always going to be a big positive, so yeah, never a bad thing to try and get in there and get yourself some information. In factories, the Hellions continue to come by. Just having those queens coming in, the factories coming online as well. Is going to be chilling out the front. Tech Lab's coming through, refineries coming online. Seeing our lab building as well. It's an armory again from ByuN, so once more we'll have Hellbats We'll see this time he's... oh, whoa. He's going Cyclones and Magfield. Sorry, I didn't even realize the fact he's gone extra factories. My brain's just zoned out in the early game, just kind of presuming everything is, you know, fine and dandy. But no, extra factories and going into Magfield. Okay. So we're going to play some Battle Mech here as ByuN, which is a little bit off tempo for ByuN in general. I mean, it's not something he's never done. It's just not something he typically leans toward. I mean, he has phases of doing this, I suppose, but cranking this out when it's not really been a thing here now in the GSL round of 8 seems like a pretty wild time to crack it out and to, you know, kind of get it going, right? So a little bit of a weird one there. There's a couple of Evolution Chambers and a Baneling Nest come down on the side of Rogue. The lair is about to finish. A couple of Overlords are still building up as well. Things and Cyclones gathering. 2 more Hellions coming out of the factory. Again, Infinite Reigniter, Magfield Accelerator coming through. Those Hellions and Cyclones begin to get straight across the map right now. I mean, the thing that Rogue has is just a complete lack of information, right? Like, he doesn't realize, I think, what's going to hit him in the face in a few moments. Things coming through are going to be nice. They're definitely going to help, but these Hellions have a huge amount of Titan potential, so I wouldn't say that they immediately are going to have themselves too much of an issue here. As the Cyclones lock on, those Queens get pushed away, the couple Banes coming back around. Queen going to fire, Marines take shots. Ling's going to run in from the bottom side. In they go. Cyclones get some good lock-ons. Queen's taking quite a bit of damage. And it's been a good trade so far. Those Banes are going to be slow as well, so they're going to waddle forward trying to reach the Hellion Cyclone. Doesn't exactly feel ideal, right? Especially as the Lings are going down so quickly. Some of the Cyclones even getting lock-ons to the Banes, which helps to remove their numbers. And Rogue just is not prepared for this in the slightest. Like, you know, again, honestly, I thought Rogue had been playing good TVZ lately, but he's actually come into this and just not even had much of a chance to play. I mean, I guess that first game, but even then, ByuN was pretty decisive about his attack and just able to get into very good positions. Very confident play from ByuN, obviously mixing it up a bit here in this game, and right now these Cyclones are just going huge. And the thing is about this kind of mech is that when you take an advantage like this kind of mech actually follows up on it and kind of delivers an end result. You know, this is not the kind of mech where it's like, oh cool, I took an advantage, let me just, you know, dilly-dally around for 10 minutes and oh what, you're back in the game? I mean, obviously this is a significant advantage too. At this point, Rogue has really barely anything else going on just yet. As the Lings and the Banes will continue to step on forward. Gonna see those couple of Banes continue to step through. And Cyclones coming across, a couple of Hellions going over. Alley upgrades, Rogue speed, full building. Not really much else to add, guys. These Cyclones are just absolutely dominating. Rogue could not really have been less prepared for this, and was really just ended. I mean, now he's trying to build roaches, but building roaches into those Cyclones isn't exactly fun either when they don't have speed. Two more drones going down. These roaches are getting caught again. Queen here will be going about, and that's going to be ByuN taking game 2 of this best of 3. And he will be advancing through to the winners matchup. So ByuN coming in with confidence in the first matchup of the day. Yeah, very comfortable match from him. Just coming in and kind of showing, hey, look, you know, I actually have been playing well lately. I've been playing very solid StarCraft 2. Not a bad result at all. Like I say, for ByuN to come with such confidence and look so good. Alright guys, our next matchup will be Q versus Hero, as we know, so we'll be getting into that in just a few moments. We'll just give it a couple seconds and let some ads play, and then we can get this all started up. GG's, yes, GG's. GG's. Hope everyone's doing well, hope everyone's having a fun week. What is it today? Thursday? Hope everyone's having a fun week. I guess we'll we head into this queue here, much like I said, in just a few moments. Quiet in the chat today. That's all good. I guess let's just go into odds I've played. Let's keep the games going. This is going to be the second match from this GSL round of 8 Group A. It's going to be ByuN versus Hero. Quiet is peaceful. You ruined it. It's okay. I also like when you guys talk. I get it. We're just casting some replays. A lot of people just having some background noise on. All good. Happy to make some noise for you guys in the background today. As we have on the top right side. The blue Terran player here is Cure. Taking on the red Protoss in the bottom left corner of the map, we have got Hero. TVP matchup, which obviously Heroes looked very good. I mean, Hero in general has looked very good altogether lately. It's probably a lot of people's favorites to win GSL as of right now. And then instead of having people complain that pros can't win tournaments, we'll have people complain that pros is too strong because they won a tournament. It's really going to be a great time for StarCraft too. As an orbital on the way up, Reaper coming out, Cybercore and Nexus building as well. As we get set up, so yeah, Reaper in that orbital, the factory as well, continue to come about here for just a few moments. Get ourselves set up as the depth coming through, Warp Gate getting set up as well. Bit of everything coming online for the next few moments. Can you complain that you don't have anything to complain about? Yeah, go wild. You can make yourself a, you can make yourself a paradox, I suppose. Complain that you have nothing to complain about. It's a bit confusing, doesn't it? Probe nibbling, people dealing some damage. Let's just see our probe nibbling up for the depot. The reactor coming up on the barracks, the factory getting the tech lab online. We got ourselves settled in here for the next few moments. The starport coming up as well. Maybe we'll get there and we'll pick away at the probe. That goes down, and Hero just haven't been nibbling. Just obviously trying to find some info and never got away with it. So that will be that for a couple of moments. So we're seeing the Adept and that Stalker. Just going to continue to hit the depot, so depot will take some shots. And that will go down. Adept going to break through. Clean up on the scouting, but we do have the Cyclone coming across the map, so a little opportunity here. Maybe try and get something done. Cyclone locking on. Depth gonna get chased. Gonna get pushed out over to the sides. Yeah, Banshee in that cloaking continues to come up for the moment. As the medevac goes over to the left, Cyclone and a few Marines going to be inside, continue to go over. Again, just cloaking, Marines, tanking the Banshee, coming about for now. Cyclone locking on. Stalker is going to get taken down, so that Stalker will drop as the other Stalker showing up. The Marines going to go after those few probes. Continue to come back around and just having ourselves, again, the Banshee, the Marines, the cloaking. Continue to come up for the moment. Some Yamake SCN. Boring boss, mate. Complete disappointment, not gonna lie. Big sad. Big sad. As a few Stalkers get to the upper right side. Medevac is gonna boost back over, so it's gonna threaten them and get into the natural, and a deep SCV or two already going down. Marines are gonna come across, Stalker's gonna take some hits. Just going to be having ourselves a Cyclone Siege Tank. Continue to chase. Those Stalkers really do get pushed out of here. And the Prism heading up through the upper right side is just going to go and get up and keep on the pressure. So just try and trade out with these early units. Lost so far. 9 Marines dead, but we've also lost a few Stalkers as well. Probes that went down, so the harass on both sides has been kind of back and forth. The Stalkers unload and get ready to just blink forward. They're going to go straight after a bunch of SCVs. Going to be a few of those workers going down right off the bat. So 4 or 5 workers dropping. 6, 7. Good damage dealt right off the start there, as you can see. Banshee's going to get a few more probes. So both the Banshee showing up is actually going to be a little bit of a problem for Heroes. For the worker damage he just dealt, he'll now take fairly similar damage, and he is not seemingly in position to deal with these Banshees at all. I mean, Stalker's going to start getting that now, but the Banshees... Okay, that one went down. The other one got away to the corner, but now Hero gets a chance to get in position. Because the Stalkers are kind of chasing the Banshees. The tanks and the Marines will be able to cleave through and get onto that third base and keep on going from there. Couple Marines going to get underneath the Prism. We'll take a few more shots. Again, they charge and they extend to the Malance, and the Colossus will continue to come about. Marines chase the Immortal. A couple Stalkers taking hits. Getting to the front. We've got our tanks already sieging up as well. Cybercore going down. Stalker's going to try and blink in again. Tank's going to get jumped on pretty much just straight away. Hero obviously making a good effort to clear this up. He's only going to leave a Banshee and a few Marines around, which is not a lot for Q to really kind of continue holding this position, but it costs you a lot of units as Hero. And if Q reinforces, plus the fact you've got Banshee in the main base dealing damage right now, I think reinforcements in general are going to be tough for Hero to deal with, because he genuinely gave up a lot to make this defense happen. And you can see right now, 10, 11 workers dropping. The damage really is going to be there as the Banshee gets back on track, kills off a few more probes. A couple more of those picked off already as big damage done. 15 workers dead. Again, we get Immortal, Extended Thermal Lance, Cybercore, and more continue to come on into play right now. Combat Shield and Stimpack building up on the barracks, being no straight in. Again, +1, Combat Shield, Concussor Shells coming up as well. Dark Shrine building from Heroes, so we will bring that online as a chance to try and step back into this game, but definitely looking as though this is beginning to be all about Cure here in game number 1 of this best of 3. A little bit of Bio going to stem out the front. As GSL's going to go charging forward. Tank is going to get... Oh, both tanks are going to get jumped on. They're going to lift up. They're going to go behind this wall off. We're going to get there. Siege tank does go down. The rest of the buy are going to be there, so defense is made. Cost you 15 SCVs though, so not exactly free. What they cost you, like I say, these Marines still unloading. Stalker or two coming about and getting some damage onto those Marines as well. Another Zealot getting picked off. Road medevac still coming about. Just going to be seeing the prism still overhead. 8 probes going down. And the rest of that bio army gathering up for the moment, so still settling. Colossus at the front just going to join up, but that's not going to matter because Kyo's going to stim on it, and Hero says GG's. One of many people's favorites for the GSL is going to drop down a game here in this round of 8. Obviously, it is just a group stage, and it's the opening match. The second chance is beyond this, but Q has been good lately, but I think pretty much everyone would kind of pick Hero. That, again, you know, it is a best of 3 still, but it's definitely a little bit of an upset for the first game, just because I think, like I say, I guess Q taking a game off Hero doesn't surprise me. But obviously, like I say, now Hero's a map away from being in that elimination match, and that would surprise us, right? So we're getting close towards maybe something of a little bit of a surprise or something along those lines. So yeah, it continues with game number 2 coming up in a moment or so, which is going to be on Maganatha. So we're going to get into that momentarily, guys. Just give me a couple moments because we have to run ads just in case. We didn't run any during the first series, so run them now, and hopefully this will take us through to the end of the series. Should be fine unless we get some long games, maybe a lengthy game 2, maybe we run ads before game 3, but hopefully we just get straight through to the end off of these ones. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. It was amazing to see, you know, casting some replays of GSL of all things, something that a lot of people watch anyway. Has a really good, you know, cool mainstream and stuff. A lot of people still tune in. It's always cool to see. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate the support. So yeah, give it about 30 seconds, guys, and we'll get this second game started. We will go from there. Let me just reply to something quickly, guys, as well. Give me one moment. All right. Let's get in game. Let's go game number 2, Maganatha. This hero tries to bound back into this as Kira is able to get control. In the top left-hand corner, and the blue Protoss player is going to be Kira. He is going to be up 1 game in this opening best of 3 of the day for himself, taking on the bottom right red Protoss player Hero. So yeah, game number 2, and get this started up, get this underway. Maganatha coming on in. Okay, just getting kind of, again, blasted by those Banshees a little bit. And while he found some damage himself, definitely ended up in just a weaker position because of all that. A couple of SCVs there will nibble at the probe on the high ground. Just going to go straight through for that. SCV chasing. Probe taking damage. Refinery coming up. Both of those SCVs chasing for that probe. Attack as the gateway, and the probe continue to come about and online, bringing that straight through. There's our Nexus going down on the natural. So Nexus getting into place. A couple of SCVs going to chase. So you're seeing the probe getting hunted around. You have again Cybercore, Nexus. Continuing about for the moment. Yeah, that tech lab finished up on the barracks here. It's just going to get that going. Because of Shellstein. Second gas coming up already from QM. Going to get that underway immediately right now. And Stalker and the Wolfgate coming up. Nexus coming by. Conquest of Shells is coming online as well. So just continue to move through into this. Going to be a nice catch. Instant recall from Hero on the Adept as he just brings it away. That Marine and Marauder looking to get that kill super early. Factory finishing soon. Orbital Command still very much on the way out. CV's building and a couple of Marauders making their way out down to the bottom right side. A few moments here, so again, just going to go journeying across. Blink is on the way through on the Twilight Council, so we bring that straight up. Gate building as well. Continue to get this up and online as the Marine Marauder going to step on forward. And the Cyclone, those Marines continue to come around just for now. Just having our Marines and the Siege Tank coming about. Barracks is still very much so on the way in as well. And the Hallucination going toward the upper left-hand side. Try and see what else we can do. Against Impact Combat Shield, a few Marines coming up. It's going to be NSLs, the Blink and the Stalkers coming about. Nexus building from Hero as well. We continue to get that going. Hallucination goes toward the upper left-hand side. It's just going to journey straight to the top. Marines hitting that Hallucination tank onto the Stalkers. ByuN's gathering and just getting again a few warning shots off as it looks like Kyo wants to start heading across the map. If he starts moving across now, it gives him time to kind of finish up some combat shield as he's on the move. And then you're hitting with kind of maximum power. It's a little dangerous. It's 3 racks in a factory, no starport, so you don't have medivacs for retreating or healing. So you've got to pick your stims very carefully as well. Any chip damage here that the Stalkers do immediately is going to be adding up. And this is why it's so committed, because the SCVs are already on the way, coming across the map. And so Hero will be under heavy duress here in the very near future. He's going to dive into the natural with these Stalkers, but I mean, how long do you really want to stick around with those? A few seconds, then you kind of got to start recalling and getting back in position. Finds a tank in the main base, so that is worthwhile so far. But yeah, definitely wants to recall here. Preferably don't lose too many of these units, because you need to find a defense back at home. Force field's coming down, the tanks will begin to siege. They're going to hit those Stalkers, the rest of the SCVs coming forward. Empire just stepping up, battery going down. Just going to be taking some damage, the rest of the Zealots come about as well. Zealots is going to charge straight forward, the Stalker's going to blink in. We are going to be seeing those probes coming through as well. It's an expensive defense for Hero, But he did a lot of damage. Obviously, killed off a bunch of the SCVs that got pulled as well, so that helps you kind of justify staying in this and sticking around. And as you have not enough left for Q at the end, reinforcements not showing up. Again, those Stalkers did disrupt that reinforcement line a little bit. Definitely, I think, depowering a bit. Now, units just not gathering up the way they need to be. Units getting caught as they're halfway across the map. And this is going to be Hero bouncing back with the defense in Game 2. Saying, nuh-uh to Cure, you're not going to sneak yourself into a 2-0 victory. And that should be us going to a Game 3 here, as this is a counterattack from Hero that is looking very, very potent. Very strong all around. And yeah, not really much that's going to be stopping him anywhere in the near future here. Four SCVs going down. Charging shield coming up. You drop the force field down. The Fusel's trying to charge in. 8 SCVs, 9 SCVs going down at the moment. Now the Zel's going to charge. The Guardian shield activating, and we'll just have the Zel's continue to chase up. GG gets called, and that is going to be GG's to give Hero, as I say, a step back in this matchup and some life left in the series. So Hero will not let Q run away with it. And we'll be going to a Game 3. That Game 3 is going to be played on Playlines. Alright, we can go straight into that. Like I say, guys, no long games means we can probably just keep going without ads, and in this case we can. So thanks for the break and the downtime before. Now we get back-to-back games, no interruptions. How beautiful. Bottom left-hand corner, the blue Terran player is going to be Q, who had that 1-0 lead and is now going to be facing a 1-1 situation here, looking to avoid the elimination match if he can find a way to squeeze out a Game 3 against Hero. Like I say, many's favorite for the GSL this season. We'll see how he does. Our way into this. So probe coming down the bottom left early from Hero. Super early probe, wants to make sure 100% he knows what's up. This is the kind of probe time that's like, okay, I want to guarantee you're not proxying me. So Hero going across the map straight away and picking up that information right off the bat. SCV there will chase the probe around, and we've seen the probe still getting chased a little bit. Gateway in the simulator continue to come through. And those couple of refineries coming online as well. So just continue to bring that up and rolling. For the moment, again, racks in the refinery coming into play as we speak. And that SCV just going to keep nibbling at the probe for a few moments at the moment. Next is the Cybercore. We'll build through. We have got the orbital command coming up. Factory on the way. Can you get that going for the moment? And Reaper coming up as well. Against got Cybercore still coming through. Next coming online. Probe coming up. And Reaper gonna start shading out into the middle of the map. So just gonna get straight across over there. Simulator finishing very shortly. And that Adept still chrono boosting along on the gateway. And Reaper will just move about. It's going to get ready to hop up in toward the main base. The Adept going to be there. Just going to see that Reaper getting turned around already. What Kyo can do is he gets up to the Cyclone here in the near future. A couple of those Marines coming about as well. So just getting that all started. And that starport coming in as well right now. Cyclone locks, the hallucination dies. Marines on a Cyclone continue to come across the map currently. And Blink will be on the way. The gateway continues to get warping. Medevac siege tank and a few Marines coming up as well. Blink's halfway done. Tank and Marines continuing out. See now units of Pure already pressing toward that upper right side, so immediately coming across and trying to take position. Gonna start fighting. Nexus will take some shots. Stalkers in the sentry stepping back over that right side. Nexus is going to be taken out already. Now got this tank and siege. The Adept continue to come across. The Stalkers in the center will come over as well. Just going to keep everything else pinned back for the moment. Keep that away. And Blink coming up. Rover facility coming through. The Adept going to get locked onto and chased out into the center a little bit. So that Adept shades out of there. The few Stalkers showing up. Getting around the back of this army and shutting off reinforcements is always going to be pretty plausible. Soldier's going to go after those SCVs. Cyclone pulling away, the rest of the Marines stepping forward. Sentry still taking some damage. We will see this entire force obviously just shoving its way forward. Cancels on the third base, and now a natural under siege. A few more Stalkers getting warped in. Robo just finished up there. These tanks need to figure out what they're shooting at. Man, there's actually a lot of Stalkers. As the recall comes in and the Stalkers get brought back after dealing 8 SCVs of damage, it's going to be a convincing amount of Stalkers. The tanks go down so quickly. It's just dealing with these Marines without losing too much else. Once you've got Blink available again, it really does become a lot more feasible to clean these Marines up without losing anything extra. And that is where Kyo's attack will really truly come to a close. And Charge and that Observer still very much so in the production as we try and take up Hero's Hero to the next stage. Do we get that going? Oh, doesn't have enough to one-shot the siege tank. Got to stick around for a second volley, so Stalkers take a bit more damage than maybe initially intended, but getting rid of the tank continues to make it very difficult for Pure, who is obviously running on very limited amount of tech units at this stage with the way that things have gone so far. Stalkers here going to get a tech lab. That will go down. And again, just going to be as annoying as they possibly can be so far. Banshee is, this time, not going to get away with doing much for Pure, so that investment is not going to do as much as we were looking for just yet. Seven +1, both continue to come about. Just going to be having the Storm on the way out as well. Continue to get that going. See that Banshee firing. A couple of probes taking some shots. Swarm still very much still coming through. +1 for sim in combat. Things that are going to help you a lot eventually here for Kira if you can get to them. He is going to do some good work with his Banshee. Finally getting in for some damage with these. Nice to see, because otherwise it was kind of starting to look as though he was going to be fallen a bit too far behind in this game. It was definitely becoming a little bit more of a concern as the minutes pass by, but that will help. Storm drops from Hero can undo all of that worker damage just like that. Well, there is a little bit of a statement, if nothing else. 7 SCVs going down. Everything else gathering together. The CC finishing, lifting off and moving over to the third base. Archon just going to be coming through. A couple of those SCVs continue to fall at the moment. Damage continues to be dealt. Nice to hear. Hero just finding damage with whatever he can. The Storm, then the Archons. More warpins. This army continues to sell as you have the Bioforce just sitting tight up on the high ground there. So hanging around as Outstalker Immortal Archon gets ready to try and push in toward that third base over the next few moments. Widowmine's setting up already as we do have the +1 armor upgrade, the concussive shells all coming through. In we go. Hero obviously confident to stim into the to just storm into this, and he does hit the first couple of storms very nicely, hitting Marines. Knocking a lot of these units just out the way and off course right from the very get-go. So very good starting point actually for Hero in that fight. Storms really did a lot of work. Coming about, more storms still available right now. Person walks in, a couple more units coming about. Just gonna have ourselves the Archons continue to gather. Nice Storm, gonna hit a little bit more of that Bioforce. Stalks get around the bottom. Another Storm coming through toward the SCVs. Archon's still putting in some work. A few more Zards warping in from the prison. Boss coming across the map, and Kira just says GG. Hero is gonna have too much. That is gonna be 2-1 in this best of 3, favoring Hero. So Hero gonna get himself a win here and movement into the round of the winners match. Alright. Roll the ads and we'll get into the winners match here then, guys. So it's going to be ByuN versus Hero. And then we've got ourselves ByuN versus Hero, then Kira versus Rogue in the elimination match coming through. That's going to be what comes up for the next few minutes of games. Alright, I'll get that underway. Hi. How you doing? Chilling. Already had enough of this. Alright, guys. Like I said, Hero vs. ByuN up next. Then Kira Rogue. 3 best of 3s left. These GSL groups go really fast if the even that was a 3-game series, it's a pretty fast 3-game series, right? Pretty speedy. So yeah, we'll see what happens though continuing through. This is why I wanted to kind of do Group B and the playoffs on one day tomorrow, get a little bit of a better stream going from it instead of just like one, couple hours and we're done or something. Alrighty, guys. Oh yeah, a minute to go. Perfect. Let's get into Hero versus ByuN. Let's get this started. It's underway. Underway. Into play. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Broadus player is Hero. Top right, our blue Terran player, ByuN. In this match, the winner goes to the semi-finals of the GSL Season 1 2025. So the loser will get a second chance to the decider match against either Q or Rogue, whoever comes through that from that best of 3. See if ByuN can take Hero on. He struggled against him a little bit in that best of 9 we casted with Hero versus ByuN a few days ago. That was a little bit of a struggle. I think we casted that about a week ago. So that's a bit of a struggle, but I mean, it was a struggle for ByuN, but he took some maps, so it's not impossible. But I also feel like that was also not Hero kind of playing at 100%. So I mean, I might also have some interest to kind of show what is what. We'll see. Like I say, best way to find out is to just see what happens in these games. Engineering Bay block. Not surprisingly from ByuN, he does like to try and take control early a lot of the time, and this will be an exact attempt at that with that Engineering Bay. Going to be surrounded by probes, getting nibbled on. Right, cleaned up over the next little bit. The orbital command will start. Cybercore and the Nexus continuing to come through right off the get-go. And yeah, that Reaper just coming up as well. Let's bring that Reaper straight into play. And next in the Cybercore, just continue to come by for now. Get that set up, we get that underway. Adept gonna go shading, the Reaper. Gonna take a couple of shots, the Adept gonna hit back on that. Taking a few hits, the Pro coming up the high ground. And the Reactor just coming through on that barracks. CC still very much so on its way in as well, bringing that straight over. I think one of the problems ByuN has against Hero is he really a lot of the time relies on that kind of chaos and the mayhem, but Hero thrives in that situation. These are two players that kind of have those kind of faster, more chaotic playstyles kind of attached to them, but as Hero's just being the stronger player lately, he kind of, you know, fares better when those two styles kind of clash into one. You know, both are happy for the game to kind of go in that way. And actually, funnily enough, I feel like a lot of ByuN Hero games don't end up as crazy as I expect them to. Because I almost think that ByuN is kind of aware, like, hey, like, I feel like typically I would play like this and kind of crazy and yada, yada, you know, yada, yada, yada. But then, like, he actually doesn't really want to do that against Hero because he knows that's where Hero thrives. So he tries to play a bit more kind of like it down the kind of tried and tested pathway rather than kind of the busy kind of dropping everywhere, kind of being that hectic micro play that ByuN so often is. I feel like he actually tries to macro a bit more against Hero. And then Hero's like, okay, well, I'm actually very comfortable in that kind of game too. I don't need to force something crazy myself necessarily. So yeah, I do find that kind of scenario pretty interesting as the Marines just going to hit the Adept. The Adept going to go shading out to the upper right side. 4 Marines going to go popping out as well. Adept coming straight through. I'm going to go shading up. A few Marines once again going to greet the Adept out the front. There's a couple of Widow Mines chased away over to the side. Similarly, going to go down. Blink building. Hobbs building. Those Marines still building up on the barracks. Raven will come through. Just going to get that started. Medevac going to boost into the main base. These Stalkers going to go straight after the Widow Mine. Drop and... oh, Medevac gets away. We're actually going to blink away for theirs. The Stalkers, they're actually going to get underneath that Medevac. It's going to die, so... pretty lackluster from ByuN. 1 probe dead, and he's lost himself. Obviously, the Medevac, both Widow Mines, the Reaper died as well, so really a good defense from Hero. He lost some mining time pulling the probes away, but knowing that that medevac is permanently dealt with, he didn't even have to give up a second probe for it. Absolutely spot on stuff for Hero. So already looking good early from Hero defensively, putting himself in a great position in the first few moments of this. Prism Chrono boosting out of the Robo facility. Marines and tank coming up. Battery coming online still as well. Marines is going to go firing the Adept to take damage. Tank will turn the other direction. Tank defends on the natural. Marines going to turn the Stalkers around too. Stalkers still trying to find their entry points right now. Coming around, tanks will continue to settle. Next is coming in as well. 2 more gateways continue to come out. We got ourselves a few stalkers just walking straight through. They're going to blink across, and that's enough to one-shot SCVs, though they were a little out of sync. That final stalker took a little while to come and get involved there, which is a little unfortunate, so a little bit of a shame. As we have ourselves the Forge, the gates, the Robo Bay continuing up. That charge very much so coming along side all of this as well, and yeah, we continue to get this all going for the moment. In this game, number 1. Stalkers actually going to really make a play there for the siege tank, and the tank is going to get taken out. So the Stalkers successfully with their attack in. Looking to enjoy that quite a lot as the, again, same column plus a charge, +1 attack. Will continue to come on through. The charge coming up and online on the side of Hero as well to bring that straight by. Again with the +1 and that charge both coming online. Keep that all going. Fire just going to fight a few of the Stalkers, get chased away to the sides. Continue to chase. Bio-hunting. Stalker's getting hunted. Yeah, good enough. I mean, ByuN has quite the force here, and I don't know if Hero's going to stop him. A few Zells do not have that charge upgrade yet, so maybe actually a timing window on the side of ByuN. +1 combat shield continue to come into play, and just have ourselves the extended thermal lance coming online as well, so we keep that going in. Bio getting continue to fire up. A little bit of mine shot coming through. Marines, Marauders, combat shield being added as the extra couple of barracks coming up as well. As our Stalkers still gathering together, and that Prism will continue to be chased down for the moment. The extra Stalkers get warped. Move about over to the sides. Again, +1 on thermal lance, continue through for now. Still having the disrupt to the +2, the +1 continue to come about right now. Going straight about, Fusel to warp it in. Just going to go and jump onto this set of rocks here. So rocks will be going down again. Good little bit of a shutdown there as we just open up the map. Hero sitting tight at 10 minutes in this game. 70 workers. ByuN not able to do much pushing right now. Should be slowed down at this point in time. And +2 attack, +1 armor still coming through. Another ByuN just going to come stimming across. The Zeld's taking shots already. Prism will unload, and a few of those Zelds dropping straight through. A couple of the SCVs taking damage. Vikings going to try and get after the Prism as well. Four SCVs just going down. +2 attack, +1 armor coming up. Prism speed about to finish. Those disruptors going to be a nice addition to the army here from Hero, who is now going to have just so much more kind of power in this force, with a couple Colossus to hold their own, and then disruptors to kind of force ByuN to have to back away and split up a lot. It's just going to make it very difficult for ByuN to find the right kind of fight. It keeps the Colossus very safe as well. That means that two Colossus can really get the job done if they're being kept very safe and the ByuN refuses to kind of go ever diving toward them. So let's get there. EMP going down. This army of ByuN is driving. Don't get me wrong, ByuN's army is sizable, so let's see if he can have some potency here. Let's see if we can actually push through a little bit. Anti-armor missile going to land. The disruptor shots fire, and that's exactly what's good about this for ByuN, for Hero. The entire ByuN army has to run away from those disruptor shots, so during that time you're not really dealing any damage at all. The Vikings committed, and they get one of the two Colossus, but now every single Viking is dead, so the Colossus that remains will likely have a very safe and okay time. As ByuN, however, does manage to get himself the Nexus on the 6 o'clock, so he removes the 4th base of Hero, and Hero with a new 4th coming up will have to rely on that for his 4-base economy now. So that is a win from ByuN. Hero's going to launch a counterattack straight away, though, and ByuN's not in position for this because he was still on the Hero side of the map, so now ByuN's going to have to come attacking into the Protoss and attacking into Disruptors, is when Disruptors obviously really do typically hold their own and show some absolutely fantastic stuff. So let's see if ByuN can successfully figure out a way to break into Hero's army here. Hero did step back to the left a little, which means the 3rd base of ByuN gets to continue mining for now. Another Disruptor shot flying through, connecting on a few units, so it looks as though we're going to be very consistent with that so far. Vikings going after the Colossus once again. Disruptors still trying to chase through. The Zealots are stepping forward. The tanks are doing their thing. Sentries in the background, they're going to get taken down, and these few Stalkers still getting hit. +3 and +2 coming up and online for now. Another Disruptor shot going to land. We get the Observer. So that gets picked off. CC still between the 3rd base and the main. So that's going to be a 4th up. ByuN can try and move into position here as we survive and push this back. Supply going to favor Hero at the moment. He's well on the way to the 3-2 upgrades as well, so looking to maintain an upgrade lead in this game, if possible. Both those Colossus just going to pop out. Warpins the Hero coming in underneath already. Just going to bring that around. Scan still coming around here as well. A bit ByuN jumping on a Zealot. The rest of the units from Hero coming up toward the top side. ByuN going to fight. A couple Colossus are firing away nicely too. Disruptors, oh no, ByuN, he tried to target fire them all down, but there was just so many shots. Hero decided just to fire every single one. And one of the rare times where firing pretty much every disruptor shot possible turned out to be the right answer. And you have the Planetary Fortress holding itself up to the top side there just a little bit. 71 to 81 workers. But yeah, Hero with that significant army coming out of this still has some good tech units involved. Let's be fair, ByuN did get rid of every single disruptor at the end of this, but there's 4 Colossus on the map currently, and there are 2 Vikings, so the tech choice between the two, or the tech units between the two, do not really match up. It is heavily outbalanced in favor of Hero, and that's why Hero is likely going to continue to control, adapt, and to meld this game into his advantage, right? So it needs to look very good for him so far. in this opening game of the winners matchup. Again, fighting for a spot in the semi-finals of the GSL. Person goes across the map. Disruptor involved as we come on through. Whilst in the background, ByuN's going to start stepping back. And like I say, I feel like these calls are something that are going to go fairly untouched. And even if we get rid of one, I was going to say we shouldn't ever get rid of more. I was actually going to hold my tongue because we actually saw the Stalkers were not focusing the Vikings down. But even with that initial ignore, eventually they do turn onto the Vikings. The Vikings go down, and Hero will take game 1 of this best of 3. And just like that, we are going to have ourselves Hero taking himself to being 1 map away from moving into the GSL semi-finals. Obviously great news for Hero, getting into a real good spot. And ByuN, I would say this was a pretty hopeful game from him as well though, right? Where he gets a chance to kind of say, well, you know what? I played a bit of my game. I actually got to take some fights, and so maybe it didn't go his way, but he didn't get kind of completely washed over from the start, so we'll see what he kind of does approaching game 2. He could maybe take a more aggressive stance still. I know I talked about him maybe not wanting to do that necessarily, but it's a possibility. Still be a something of a factor. Okay, just gotta wait for that, just because it's a bit of a longer game. We'll get right back into it. Alright, let's go. Get number 2, Tokamak. This one's been getting a lot of love, definitely getting a lot of play on the ladder and everywhere, so let's see what we get as we Tokamak it into action. In the bottom left-hand side, we are going to start there. There we go. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Protoss player is Hero. On the top right, our blue Terran player, we've got ourselves ByuN. He's down a map and looking to stay alive in this winners match and avoid the decided matchup against whoever comes through between Rogue and Cure. So that's CVT coming up after this as well. That's where we sit on this day of GSL Group A, a round of 8 games. Again, we'll be covering the Group B in the playoffs tomorrow in case you're interested in catching up with GSL with us once again. And then if you're interested in just more StarCraft over the weekend, I'm not here Saturday, but on Sunday we'll be doing the WardiTV May playoffs, so you guys can check that out as well. Getting the assembler coming through. Probe still very much so building up for the moment. Binary coming online. Train drops down into the racks. We do see the pro coming across. Just gonna go check to see what's up, checking into that main mineral line. Nibble about here and there. Next is going down from Hero back at home, so he gets that underway as well. Get that started, and yeah, we just get this rolling. These early stages. Order command coming through. The Nexus and the Cyber Core continue to come up for the moment, get that all underway. Swap the barracks out to the front, so actually going to get the wall going, but funnily enough, because that kind of means that the barracks is floating about and not building stuff for a while, so that kind of move now to kind of relocate, like, because he could have built that there in the first place, but instead he chose to kind of be as greedy as possible, not pull the SCV off the line until as long as he could. But now that costs you a little bit, right? So it becomes a little bit of a weird one. There's the Stalker and the Warp Gate coming up, the Nexus coming online. Stalker and Warp Gate continuing through at Nexus. Still building. And again, the reactor coming up on the barracks for the moment. Flame Poppin', so Helena and Marine together will just gather up. Again, just going to see the couple Marines building up on the barracks for now. Continue to bring that through as the Stalker gets chased away. Box facility finishing very shortly. Still got the gateway, Stalker, and so continue to come online. Those couple Stalkers continue to fight up this ramp, and the Marines are going to turn around. Go back onto those Stalkers as well. A couple of Hellions stepping across. Marines got to get the Stalker, so Stalker will go down. The other Stalker continue to ping, and that Marine will fall. There's 5 Marines dead and a Hellion for 2 Stalkers. It's kind of an interesting kind of middle ground, right? 2 Stalkers ain't cheap. Resource loss-wise, it's dead even. Obviously, it's all mineral-based units versus some gas-based units for Terran versus Protoss. Like I say, it's interesting because removing those Marines sometimes can just remove the power of an early push. You know, a couple of Stalkers are the kind of thing which over time maybe don't matter as much, whereas having like 5 Marines or so really makes a difference of like whether a push across the map looks scary, whether you can protect a siege tank or not. So I actually kind of think I like this for Hero overall. Like obviously Stalker count is important, losing a couple Stalkers doesn't feel great, but in the grand scheme of things, like talking about the more important parts of this game, I think the timing of the overall kind of rebuild will then favor Hero that tiny little bit. I mean, I think we're kind of nitpicking a little bit to try and be picking favorites, but always worth discussing to some extent. So we've got the SCV in the command center, siege tank, and a few Marines will start chasing the Stalkers as we get rid of 4 or 5 SCVs already. RO8 is building, still got the reactor coming through on the starport, barracks on the tech lab. Comes into the back, he's going to drop the order turret down. Moving it down again. RO8 coming up. Next is about to finish. Immortal and +1. The charge continue to come through as well. Okay, way down to that third base location. Just get ourselves that set up. I mean, a few more gates coming through. Continue with the Colossus. They have been the heart and soul of Protoss armies lately. I do like the 2 Immortals as well. Keep you very safe, especially against someone like ByuN who does have that tendency to sometimes just come along with the big kind of tank-based push. That's the thing that you've got to kind of keep in mind the whole time, is that Hero probably expects something like that to happen, or knows that it has a high possibility to happen. Probably changes a little bit about how Hero's been approaching this game and setting up. And like I say, those 2 Immortals are definitely a sign of like, hey, I'm just going to take any risk. I'm going to have everything I can to help me defend, while still getting towards my tech units, while still getting toward my splash damage, which of course in the long run is an absolute necessity as well. So 2 gateways coming online, Forge building. Hallucination goes down, ByuN's there, and the siege tank going to make a good cleanup. And again, +2/+1 thermal lance and blink continue to come online. And the +1 the combat shield coming up as well. And the Colossus will nab a Marine, so already going to take that out. Four, 5 workers going down already. Not bad at all. Make it 6. So actually just 5 workers in the end. I thought he got a 6th one, but apparently I am just seeing things, so imagining more damage than there is. I'm going to keep Hero within kind of 5 workers or so, keep him at a fairly manageable work count for the game. Hero's going to get that prism speed started again, so still looking to kind of make use of some of his harassment options. As much of a surprise, harassing is generally a good thing to be done. Did he research the Raven Matrix? He did not. It's not uncommon in TVP to use the Raven as an anti-arm missile machine if it's against the army, or just an auto-turret harasser. In fact, I feel like Matrix is probably one of the least used methods or spells of the Raven in TVP, because so often you kind of spellcast into something. It's not like TVT where you can spellcast Matrix onto tanks, and then you can push into that position. A lot of the time it's like you kind of Matrix like a Colossus or 2, and the Protoss will just use their force fields to buy time until the Colossus are back alive again, right? So, Matrix is definitely, I mean, it's still seen sometimes, but it's definitely the least used spell on the Raven in this matchup, so not too surprising to see kind of ByuN just skip the research on that. And like I say, if he does end up using the Raven as part of the army instead of just a harassment machine, he will be able to kind of, you know, anti-armor missile, and that alone is typically pretty powerful. Has any pro used Matrix in TVZ? Not recently. I feel like it happened once or twice though, right? I think I was casting a game not that long ago actually, where someone Matrixed the Vipers in a TVZ game. So yeah, it's has happened. I can't remember what that game was where the Vipers got Matrix, and I was like, wow, it's so sick. Why not use it on the Colossus? Because like I say, the Colossus, because the Protoss just won't attack into you if you have Matrix. And if you try and chase into the Protoss, they have a lot of tools to stop you from just kind of chasing in for a few seconds. So you basically Matrix, and all that Matrix actually achieves for you is really not that much. Whereas if you anti-armor missile, you can still trade with the use of that anti-armor. If you hit the Zealots and stuff, you can still trade well, even if they try to buy time. Typically, the Zealots are still the things that kind of have to give themselves up a bit more. And at the worst case, you're still getting the same result as the interference Matrix. Best case, it goes even better for you because they do fight, and being anti-armor missile is extremely bad for the majority of that Protoss army. Boston Stalkers gathering up here from Hero. Raven drops down a couple of auto turrets already. Mobs will go down. Snitch is still coming across. Destructive shot fires. Bio taking the hit. Stalker's going to blink across as well. CC relocating as we do have the Zealot going to swipe away onto the auto turret already. Let's see those Zealots wrapping around. A couple of tanks. They get killed. That's actually really nice. The Fusel's getting those siege tanks. Sort of thing which, like, those tanks would be nice to just have kept alive, and it was very little commitment from Hero to be able to remove them from the equation. So knocking those down so easily is very respectable. I'm going to see Hero really threatening to kind of attack on in, trying to chase through his main army here. Stalker's currently going after a couple of those Vikings, and we'll have ourselves an a Guardian Shield coming up again. Talking so much about the Ravens, got their spellcast on my mind. Disruptor shots are pretty good as well, and I'm going to see the Colossus just laser beaming. Pick up the Vikings on a bit of a split. The Stalker's going to do a good job of zoning out these Vikings. The Vikings are going to hard commit. It's the second time that ByuN's kind of just sent it with the Vikings, and don't really love it. I mean, it feels very inconsequential because it's like you don't do much and you lose all of your Vikings now. Another disruptor shot coming up. Marauders in the Widow Mine getting cleaned out. Continue to fight, continue to trade. Stalker's still chasing. The Stalkers push forward, the Disruptor's firing through. You can see those connections continuing to align. There's another Disruptor shot coming up this round. Bam! Onto those Marauders. They get hit hard. Another Disruptor shot coming through. +3 armor, +1 shields. Coming back around. Still seeing our Zealots continue to move up. Hero, obviously, at this point, broke through that ByuN army, broke through the base, and he's going to break through into the GSL semifinals with a 2-0 over ByuN. So 2-1 Cure, 2-0 ByuN into the semifinals, moves Hero, and continues his quest to become the GSL champion of this season. And leaving us with 3 players left in Group A to scrap it out, trying to figure out who will be joining Hero in those playoffs. That will be between Cure, Rogue, and then, of course, as well, ByuN, who will be in the decided match. Cure versus Rogue initially in the elimination matchup, and then that decided matchup comes up after that. We will go in from there. We'll just run ads between series, guys, and that should keep us. We're actually pretty good on ads right now, so if we run between series here, we should be able to just go through the entire next series. No ads at all, because like I say, the only thing that's really holding us up today is us just pressing play. So obviously just taking a few moments here and there specifically to press those ad buttons. Just run what we need to run, and it does help support the stream and stuff, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Bad Fisher, by the way, for the 6 months resub. That was 20 minutes ago. I don't know if I actually mentioned that or not, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Not really been looking at the sub notifications and stuff today, guys. Just been coming in to cast some games. Cool. Cool. So yeah, Cure vs Rogue. Going to be starting off on Persephone as well. I think we can just get into this, guys. With a few moments of patience. Appreciate it. On the top left-hand side of the map, we're going to have ourselves the blue Terran player. This is a Cure. Taking on the red Zerg in the bottom left corner of the map, we're going to have ourselves Rogue. So Rogue and Kira, best of 3. Persephone, the opening map. And we will see the Rogue drone coming down to the low ground to place the hatchery to get us started here. No surprises just yet in terms of how that is going to go. So hatchery comes down, a couple of drones set up. Got those couple of extractors down, so a hack extractor, pool. Again, everything pretty regular for the first few moments here. Ship in the orbital will continue about. Command center underway, so nothing surprising. Again, big game because we're here on the elimination matchup. The loser is out. The winner obviously gets a chance to play against ByuN, try and challenge for the round of 4. We're chasing those couple of lings back. Smoke grenade goes down. A little bit of a bomb happening for the first few moments there. Queen firing back the other way, and the Reaper going to take a few more shots. CC's come online. The ling speed building up. Get that a rolling. Drones coming by, ling speed coming up, hatchery is on the way. Token speed going to be a part of this. The Queen's still coming through, a couple of overlords coming about. Hatchery on the way. The starport and the command center, Hellions as well. Building up currently on the side of Kira. Banshee building, Marine on the way out. Banshees and the Hellions continue to build up for the moment, so we get that all going. Again, the Queen, the drones, and the lings coming out for now. Banshee building, Marine and the Cloak coming back around as well. See a couple of Hellions coming out down to the low ground. Marine's going to nibble up, the Overlord will take some damage. And the Queen just coming about, just going to gather itself. We will just have ourselves the Banshee and the Cloak still very much so coming through here. And the Orbital just going to fly down to the low ground for the moment. Will be there. As the Reaper get turned around. And she's already going to show up and go after those drones. A little counterattack in. This is what I think Rogue can do very well in this matchup. Little counterattacks, getting in there, getting rid of some SCVs, and slowing down some of that economy. And really kind of, it's kind of weird because against Kira, he's such a controlling Terran. He's so stable, and he doesn't ever feel the need to win the game in like a certain moment. He can be very deadly with the timing windows, but he doesn't feel that he has to win the game in those timing windows, or it's all just done and dusted, right? So I always find that very interesting. It's the Baneling Nest, the Carapace upgrade continue through. Overlord, drones, Blair continue to come about for now. The 1-1 in the stem coming up as well. Banshee's going to fly. We're going to see one going down already. The couple queens continuing to slam their way into those Banshees as well. Yeah, so my whole point is because Kira's never really in that time window, like, he's pretty stable and he's pretty solid defensively. So those run-bys could be one of the secrets for Rogue, but he is going to have to do them nicely and well because Kira is typically very good at not taking damage like that and being able to extend into the later stages. Coming about one more time, just going to get rid of another creep tumor or two. That's just Kira again, keeping control of the map, keeping Rogue pinned back as well. Making some progress so far as the 1-1 the combat shield coming up also. All the upgrades and bailing speed now on the way. Gestation pit coming online, the spines coming up, the additional hydras are coming up. Get rid of a changeling right off the bat. Double creep trim is full, and that single Zergling gonna nibble its way into this mineral line, and SCVs are already going to get pulling in to clean up that Zergling as well. It's just gonna knock that back. Melee upgrades continue through also. Spine's coming up, Lurkadan, Hive, both building into play. The extra little bit of Ling Bane coming about. Marine's going to play a bit of cleanup too, and we are going to push in those creep tumors. Coming about right now. Again, Hive, Lurkadan on the way from Rogue. It's great if you can get to those structures, but you're going to need to buy some time, and that's what the counterattack is for. We're already taking serious damage on that base, but we do have the bottom right, so if we lose this hatchery, we arguably do have other bases to rely on. There's a ton of units at home from Kira, though. I mean, this was obviously not a big commitment for him to be able to get that base kill, so keeps him pretty safe at home if those units are back there. This run-by may not have much potential, though he did just move out with the big reinforcement wave, so credit to Rogue. He finds probably the best time to show up with this. See what we can do. Heads into this mineral line. That's going to be a lot of SCVs. Oh, the Bane stepped back for a second. Would have caught all those SCVs stacked if he had not stepped back with them for a moment or two. 17 going down, and we're not done yet. We're still chasing. 23 SCVs killed, but we do need to survive at home as well. Obviously, Rogue's using a lot of his units to deal damage on the other side of the map. It's 25 SCVs, the final count for the moment, as the last couple Lings go down. So you're taking significant damage, but going to be also significantly ahead because of that army supply. So again, it comes down to Rogue. Can you get a defense here? Can you break into this position of Kira? He's actually going to pull the trigger and go. I feel like waiting until Kira kind of pulls the trigger may have been the play, but maybe he's just terrified of Kira getting into more and more of a stranglehold on his bases. He's already obviously dropping up into this high ground and so on, losing workers as well. That's the lane. The Queen's going to step forward as we just have. The Marines and the tank still trying to fire. Those Queens taking a big round of shots. The extra Marines coming up from the other side. We've got Ling Bane Hydra looping around the right. Going to come up as well, and we are going to see a few of those Banes smashing into a few Marines as we go. A couple of Banelings trying to wrap around and hit some of those Marines. We are going to see the GG called, and Kira is going to take in one of this best of 3. So, Kira takes the opening game. And is going to be just having a bit too much there. I like the idea from Rogue. He definitely saw the opportunity to maybe counterattack through and to make something happen. Just wasn't good enough, as we're going to go to Maganatha here for game 2. On the top left-hand side, up one game is going to be our blue Terran player, Cure. Bottom right, our red Zerg is Rogue. Forward barrack suggesting we may see some Reapers here early as Q with the 1-0 lead looks to apply pressure early on in this game. Number 2. Again, winner of this will stay on to play against ByuN in the decider match. The loser of this is out from this season of GSL. Third barracks coming about. I'm going to get that on the way. Both those barracks coming through. Again, the Reaper and the binary orbital as well continue to come up just for the moment. Watch the pool coming online. And yeah, a couple of Reapers will make their way onto the map. Queen's still building up. Zergling's on the way out. Drone in production. See how Rogue deals with these Reapers. Obviously, definitely a world where you can... I mean, typically in this day and age, people seem to be pretty good at just kind of handling these Reapers and so on. So like I say, we'll see what we get up to there as it comes about. Queen steps up, chases the Reaper away already. More Reapers coming about. Hatchery, the drones, the Queens. Building on through. Queen's going to step around a little bit. The Reapers are going to get there and chase after set Queens. The Queens are going to step back into play and go the other way for the moment. So those Reapers still coming about. Hatching the drones coming through. The Queen coming online. This bottom side, this hatchery is going to get jumped on. We start to nibble our way through that for a little bit. And yeah, because it's 3 racks, we really do have a good Reaper count. And so canceling the third hatch would be a very nice thing to do. It's actually a very reasonable thing to do as well with 3 racks Reaper. It should not be seen as kind of an impossibility or anything. It really isn't. And so Reapers continue to fight. The Lings and the Queens come back the other way. And the Reapers swing back around to the left-hand side once more, where they're going to find, once again, a hatchery that they can hit, work through, and try and kill off here over the next little while. These Reapers are actually trading extremely well. They're getting way more value than they probably should be. This is now 3 Queens, 5 Lings, and a drone loss, and the Reapers are yet to lose one of their kind, as the Argonauts even just continue through absolute massacre. Rogue, rogue, rogue. This is not where you want to be. Maybe now you can get something of a catch on these Reapers. Popping up to that high ground. We are going to see some Reapers finally starting to die, but it's going to be with 7 drones going down as well. Significant damage dealt here on this one. Damn. Yeah, that's just huge. We're going to see the Ling is going to get there again. Going to turn those Reapers away once more. Reapers still spreading over to the top right corner. 3 drones popping out. The orbital command coming into play. The starport and the refinery coming over as well. Grenade or 2 and the Lings and the Roaches still getting bopped around. All those Roaches pushing the Reapers back. I mean, so we're starting to stabilize, but only after taking mega damage. Be very interesting to see if Rogue can muster up a defense for the first kind of stim push, because I feel like the first push already is going to be a challenge for him. With the way that things have gone, you don't take that much damage and just kind of typically live to tell the tale, so this looks like it could be pretty darn difficult as the Reapers gather together. Roaches will continue to about. Again, Stimpack +1 on the way, a few extra Roaches building, Overlords on the way through. We'll get there for a quick team, and now a couple of Roaches come back the other direction. A couple of those Reapers still taking shots. +1, Stim, Medevacs, and Marines. Still building on through. You have a couple of Roaches and the Queen continuing about as well. Just going to be seeing that Queen open up in a few moments. Does have the combat chill coming about. Marines in the tank continue to come over. See a few Marines unloading here for the Overlord. I mean, we are, again, basically as Rogue, just trying to muster up a defense after a rough early stage of the game. You're down on army supply with a Roach-based army that does not have upgrades or anything to really show for itself. Queenslings and Roaches gathering still. We'll stim up this round. A couple of Roaches getting chased. Queen's getting chased. We have a couple of Ravagers going to drop some Biles in as well. Going to turn to the left side where a couple of Queens go down. There's no way you're defending this as Rogue. Not really the best showing at all from Rogue all day in the GSL group. I mean, his matches against ByuN were not all that, to be honest with you. And these matches were honestly not all that either. So GG's. Just kind of getting stomped by the Terrans, which I honestly do think is a little bit of a surprise. I did not have that down as the way that things were going to go today for Rogue. I really thought he was going to put up a little bit more of a fight, but unfortunately, it was not to be, and Rogue will be eliminated top 8 of this GSL season. Alright guys, give me one moment because I just need to do a couple things as we run some ads ahead of our final games, which will be QF versus ByuN coming up, so to QF versus ByuN in just a few moments time, but like I said, just give me one sec while I just have to check a couple little things quick. Alright guys, like I said, just give me a couple moments. Appreciate it. Alright. Sorry, guys. Where are we at? 40 seconds. Alright, we'll just give another 10-15 and we'll hit the loading screen for this decided matchup. It's a TVT. ByuN or Kua will go to the GSL semifinals alongside Hero out of this Group A. Do it. Hi guys, one final best of 3. These matches really do. We've been live 2 and a bit hours, I guess. Let's see. Tomorrow we'll have Group B and the playoffs together, so it'll be a nice lengthy stream, hopefully. Bottom left-hand side, blue Terran player here is Kua, and he's going to get proxied by the red Terran in the top right. ByuN, who places barracks number 1 and soon barracks number 2 down into the bottom left side of the map. So ByuN going to bring the pressure here to start off this series, looking to make a statement on the opening game right from the very get-go. I do see blindly here, Kua going to go double gas. That definitely helps. It gives him a little bit of a step in the right direction in terms of being able to defend against this. Double gas is the better build order. If you're going to go single gas expand, you end up in a little bit more trouble. Now, double gas will not SCV scout, but that's okay because you're naturally going into the factory very quickly yourself. Then it means that you don't really need to SCV scout. If you check with the Reaper to the side and spot this is the best information you can get. He goes reactor first, though. That's not very good for Kua. Now, if he somehow lives through this, if ByuN does not get active quickly enough, you will be in some trouble. But right now, you are a mile and a day away from any units on this field, Kua. And ByuN is going to be having his first Reaper showing up very, very soon. He's about to notice as well that he's in trouble. Because like I said, as soon as these Reapers show up, Kua's going to be like, yeah. Definitely looking a bit funky. Factory coming up. Reapers on the way. Reapers popping about right now. He's just going to be seeing them turning around, going toward the main base. Another couple of Reapers coming about. Just going to be popping out. But like I say, they're a long way off. We're going to get in with the 2 Reapers. The factory will finish. It's really about how many SCVs die. The problem is you've got nothing to make these Reapers turn around and do anything but kill SCVs. So losing so many SCVs freely so quickly, that's really the issue for Kua. And like I say, he's got no real good answer. And even when he gets the first Reapers out here, he's outnumbered 3-2. It's the reactor will help him catch up now, sure. But this is 7 workers going down extremely quickly, extremely effectively. So there you go. Well, we do see the CC building at least on the low ground, so we did not get that part delayed. As Kua looks to continue his defense now with a Hellion out. 4 Reapers available from ByuN, spread nicely to minimize damage from that Hellion. Hellion takes a shot already, loses the SCV, so there's the delay on the command center here. Should be able to stop that coming up for quite some time now. Grenade going down, Reapers getting bobbed. Hellions are going to chase forward. We're going to lose both the Hellions, and he gets a better shot on the Reapers. I think ByuN takes a winning fight here as his reinforcement Reaper shows up as well, although he can't be far away from more production. Helping through from Kua, but looks like ByuN really does reset that Reaper count. And as he kills the SCV again, ByuN is going to take the 1-0 lead and be a map away from the GSL semi-finals. So ByuN bringing it back in this best of 3. Oh, bringing it back, bringing it to this best of 3, bringing it back from his previous best of 3, which he obviously lost out on against Hero. I'm going to take that 1-0 lead going into game 2 in a couple of moments. Alright, Magnatha, game 2. Can ByuN get to the round of 4? Can he get to the semi-finals here? Or not? In the bottom right hand side, we're going to have ourselves the red Terran player. This is ByuN. And the top left, his opponent will be the blue Terran player Cure as we get to game 2. Big map here, Magnatha. Maybe time for a big TVT. Haven't seen much TVT on these new maps, honestly. You don't see TVT a lot, to be fair. And so, yeah, have not explored this matchup so much on these maps just yet. Bum, ba-da, bum, ba-da, bum. Well, we're going to be curious seeing the 2 racks from him this time, but not proxy. Both barracks in base. Ideally for ByuN, you kind of just play... Honestly, an expansion is fine here. It can get a little bit dodgy with an expansion, but you should be able to defend it. He's playing 1 gas, which is why I'm talking about the expand already, so... We will see. He's checked nearby with that SCV, so he knows there's not proxy 2 racks. There is kind of a world where it's like, okay, there's no proxy 2 racks, so I feel very safe to be very greedy behind this expand, and then maybe you do end up in trouble against the 2 racks, which is not proxy. Like I said, obviously reinforcements come very slowly from Q. You're unlikely to build like a ton of Reapers in this situation, but the few Reapers can definitely still be annoying if they come at the right time, if they get the right fights, so we'll see how that goes. There's a couple of Reapers coming about. CC factor in the reactor coming over. Reaper coming down the left-hand side, and the Reaper will set up as well. CC gets it going on the bottom. Yeah, what's up, Jack Burton? Thank you so much for the 8-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. As our Reaper going to start hitting, SCV will be taking some damage. And we begin to trade back and forth for the moment. That's not good for ByuN. He's going to lose the Reaper, and that's really bad because now he's been building that reactor. Now he doesn't have any units for a while. Secure is going to show ByuN the power of the Reapers as ByuN just showed him the power of the Reapers, and this is where ByuN starts to lose multiple SCVs. At least the difference here is going to be that when these Hellions pop out, this really should just end because 2 Hellions at a time should be good enough to maintain a defense against the Reapers, especially with the Reapers not being proxied. But yeah, 4 SCVs going down, and Q will take a little bit of an edge in those early stages with some good connections right there. Reapers will keep playing. SCV going down. Reaper's still trading at the front for the moment. A couple of grenades going down as well. Now the Reapers and the Hellion just going to go and hit, and the CC will start to take some damage. A couple of SCVs going to repair. Older Command taking quite a few shots, so taking some hits. The Hellion's going to step forward in big numbers. ByuN trying to play the cleanup, still not getting a good lineup of units at all. Obviously, the Orbital just not being able to mine is already beneficial to Q, who has gone his own command center on the natural, morphing that into a natural now, starting to take that economic lead over these next few moments. Getting that up and running. shoot. Gonna be seeing the Cyclone coming about as well. Just having the couple of Hellenes coming over. Cyclone stepping across. I mean, this is just a problem. The fact that Q is able to run a Cyclone up into your main base has got to be a little bit of a sign right now that things are maybe not looking too hot. Cyclone here going to jump onto the Raven. Phoenix Matrix, the Raven coming online, so we continue to go into what is the typical state of TVT, right, which is to try and get those Ravens out, get those to be the controlling factor here, trying to get that up and running. And Stimming combat, Stimming +1 coming through. Secure already well on his way to the bio upgrade. 7 worker lead, army supply lead. ByuN probably just going to look at this and say, I've got to just play the slowest game I can play at this point, right? Just try and come in very slow, steady, and see what we can do. Got a couple of Vikings still coming up on the starport there. Marines will unload on the right-hand side into the main base. Marines going to wrap around, trying to fight against those SCVs. 6 workers going down. It's already good damage, right? You're going to continue to maintain a worker lead. And if you maintain a worker lead like that, you're going to keep yourself in very much so a very strong spot here in this matchup. Just going to be seeing the Stim and the +1 coming through as well. And Stim and the +1 continue to come about. Just going to be having us tank and the Vikings coming over as well. Bunkers setting up at the front. We get that ready. Ravens, the Viking, the Marines, the tank, the Cyclone, all gathering together still for now. ByuN's going to try and just break through this, but all of those bunkers are actually going to be perfect in this scenario, right? Just anything to keep your Marines alive that little bit longer. This bunker living. The Viking's going to land. The tank is going to be coming out of Matrix to fire one shot. Now actually will... Okay, I thought he was going to stay alive a bit longer, but no. ByuN? He's got to drop in his base at the same time, so he's going to be losing all of his production. I mean, I think here will eventually just get a defense rolling here. It's not like ByuN has a lot to keep shoving forward with. And obviously, like I say, not producing is not going to help ByuN much at all right now. GG. GG. Q1, ByuN 1. That rounds us out in this game 2 and sends us over to a third and final game. So one final map today. Speedy games, mind. I mean, what we saw, I guess ByuN Hero had a couple of games that went over 10 minutes, but everyone else is playing like sub 10 minutes and trying to go ASAP, huh? Alrighty. Give me a couple of moments, guys. And let's get into game 3. Ultra Love. Send one of these players to the round of 4, the other one home. As brutal as that may be, here's how it is. In the bottom left-hand side, blue Terran player going to be Cure. While in the upper right-hand side, the red Terran player will be ByuN. Whichever player has built the most Reapers in the early game has succeeded so far. We'll see if that trend continues. It doesn't always go that way, obviously, in TVT, but has been the way that these games have gone so far today, so like I say, we shall see. Let's get Ultra Love as our map. A chance for us to figure out where things are at and how things are going. Already seen the early builds developing with a double gas on the side of nobody. Because we're not at the correct supply to build a second gas yet. It was a Rax gas versus gas first, so that's why I was getting myself confused. So Q just playing the later gas, and that does give ByuN a significant gas timing advantage. As neither player builds a second refinery here, it looks like we will see Command Center versus Command Center. So both players with the expansions on the mind. And we will get ourselves set up, and like I say, looking to see whether or not, or how successful that may be. As we have the orbitals on the way up, first Reaper's on the way. Like I say, ByuN will have that extra gas so he can go into his factory sooner. Q will be able to drop his CC a little earlier, so there's going to be slight differences between the players because of the gas timing that they took. The general consensus and idea, I think, is going to be the same. It's just like I say, a few seconds here or there will likely be on the line here as we move on through. We'll dropping on down. Again, the CC is building up, the factory's coming online. Into the main. SCV taking some shots, gonna go down. Marine Reaper in return, gonna chase down that Reaper for a few moments. Starport coming about, orbitals coming through. I'm just gonna see the tech lab coming up as well as we get ourselves settled in for a few moments. Again, orbital and the starport coming up. Like I say, I think games are gonna look generally quite similar across the board here for the first little while. Tech lab on that factory, starport getting a tech lab going too. I'm just gonna see the cyclone, a couple of marines still coming about. SCV's coming over as well. Medevac building, again a few marines on the barracks coming up for the moment. Medevac heading down, so we are going to go down to the bottom side. Away we go there. Raven, Matrix coming through for the moment. Tank and a couple Marines coming about. The Raven coming online. Just going to be seeing the Hellion dropping down. The tank turns, hits the Hellion. And the Raven and a couple Marines coming up for the moment. Medevac still coming about, continue to settle in. Gonna be seeing our Raven. And the Matrix coming through, just gonna be seeing that Medevac still coming across as well. And we'll have ourselves a couple of units getting in position to chase this the other way. Both those Ravens gather, tanks gathering. Matrix coming through. Medevac just escapes again, still got that interference Matrix coming about for now. see a couple of auto turrets going down already. Just going to be seeing the big push here from Kua coming up. ByuN defensively losing a bunch of SCVs to try and jump on this, and he will clean it back, but obviously a lot of SCVs lost. Can he have any sort of a counter on the go for him here at this point? SCVs coming about. It's going to be seeing the Blibs, the tank, the Marine continue to come through. Second is going to get there and get rid of the Raven. Shove forward. ByuN obviously with the army supply advantage at the end of that fight. Now it's evened out already, so it's just going to be ByuN having to back away. Cannot set up right there, and that does mean we're going to be having ourselves... just means that ByuN is going to be in a worker deficit and not really anything to show for it. Latest impact as well, so you'll be a bit behind on the bio upgrades right now. Siege is up on the back of that natural, just going to get that straight into place. 1-1 upgrades, tank, marines, coming about. The Liberator will go for a few of those SCVs, the damage being dealt. Across two different mineral lines, that Liberator is actually going to have a pretty darn good time. Marines just wandering forward, going to get smashed as well by that Lib. That is going to be a good amount of damage being done. A couple of Vikings going to get over there, Liberator gets taken down. We have ourselves... At the moment, Kua continue to just get further ahead. He was already very ahead on workers, and now that's only going to be expedited further as ByuN does have a counterattack ready, so this might get interesting. Kua's a little out of position. Well, okay, he's not out of position. His Vikings were kind of toward the middle of the map, but that was about it. The Matrix has come down. ByuN tries to get sieged up. Kua's going to land the Vikings as well, and that actually might just be a full-on cleanup from Kua, whose supply is absolutely tilting over heavily into his favor, and it looks as though we are going to have, at this rate, a Kua victory, because that is not pretty for ByuN, and he doesn't have much defense ready. Like, maybe if Kua sits back in the world of TVT, if you can get some units up, defense can always happen in Terran versus Terran, but Kua coming right now suggests that that probably is not going to happen, so let's see what takes place. The Vikings come over, Nails gathering. Just going to be seeing a couple of units still stepping forward as well. Command taking some damage, and the tank will siege up as well already. He's going to start pushing forward. The tank's going to try and fly it back. Vikings still sitting overhead. The CV's coming back around as well. Just going to be still seeing the rest of this army continue to gather up. At the moment, combat shield coming through, and that orbital command still and pushed away to the top side. Kua is up about 50 supply in this game and is moments from hitting the GSL round of 4. There it is. Hero first place, Kua second place is the results of this Group A from GSL. Well, there we go, guys. So that is our GSL games from Group A. They were yesterday's GSL games. So again, tomorrow we'll be doing the GSL games that were played today, but tomorrow we'll do GSL Group B and we'll do the playoffs. So we'll be doing a little bit of a longer stream. So we'll be doing, like I say, Group B, then the playoffs. It's like 5 best of 3s and then 2 best of 5s and a best of 7, unless the best ofs and the playoffs are different to what I expect. Either way, should give you guys a pretty good indicator of what we're going to be getting up to over the next little while. So that's tomorrow, and that's tomorrow's stream. I'll see you guys there for that. Not much else to add. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for StarCraft 2. Bye.